Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Boston Sports Nuts. It is now the year 2026, and this is our 78th season doing the show, or something like that.
36th.
36th year of Sports Nuts, Boston Sports Nuts included. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you had a great holiday. I'm Ken Berman, joined by my good buddies Paul Izzo.
Good to be here, boys.
Jim Russo.
Thanks, Ken.
Great to see you guys. Nice time last night in the cave. Hey, so let's get right into it, because the most incredible Patriots season that I can really, as far as a turnaround goes, came to an end last night with a great victory over the Miami Dolphins, 38-10, I think, or something like that. And they won by a lot again. Like 2 weeks in a row, they've won by like 80-20 or something like that. And so anyway, an incredible season. But that means next weekend is the wild card playoff weekend, Paul.
Yes, it is. The Patriots had a great season. Nobody anticipated it.
No.
You're going to hear a lot about the schedule. They didn't have a very difficult schedule. They won the games they needed to win, even down the stretch, and nothing but positives. Nothing but positives.
Absolutely.
The biggest thing is nobody saw this coming.
Yeah.
Nobody. I actually went and checked. I looked at old CBS Sports. I looked at Pro Football Focus. I looked at predictions, Sporting News. Nobody had them winning maybe more than 9 games.
Right.
And those were outliers. 14-3, that's crazy.
Yikes. Jim, that's one of their best seasons ever.
Yeah, it's a great season. I want to address the schedule thing. I think 2 things are true. One, it was absolutely historically weak. I looked yesterday. Their strength of schedule was 383. There is no one else below 400.
Winning percentage.
Yeah.
There is no one else below 400. I mean, it's historically weak.
Good.
On the other hand, as Paul just said, no one said the Patriots have a terrible schedule. They're going to go 14-3.
Right.
So I mean, it's
Right.
like
It's the old thing. 2 things can be true.
2 things can be true, and the Patriots deserve credit for winning 14 games playing anyone,
Absolutely.
especially what their expectation level was.
And there was other teams who, I think, probably said, looking at their schedule going into the season, that, oh, the Patriots, that looks like a win for us, right?
Yeah, and by the way, who had the second weakest schedule?
Buffalo.
The Denver Broncos.
Oh, the Denver Broncos.
And they are 14-3.
Okay. Paul, you want to get
if you rank them 1 through 32 in terms of weakest schedule, and let's assume the Patriots are at the top.
Yeah.
There were other teams with weak schedules.
Yeah.
They're not all 14-3.
No.
The thing that makes me nuts about the schedule thing is, do you watch the games? The Patriots are winning these games legit.
Yeah.
They're not just beating up on weaker opponents. They're playing well. They're connecting on passes. They've been efficient. Until recently, they were one of the only teams in the league that didn't have a field goal blocked. They're doing a lot of good things to win these games. And the 3 games they lost, they were very competitive. They actually could have gone undefeated. That's how close it was to an undefeated season. They were very competitive in their 3 losses.
Yeah, I think
So I find the schedule thing a distraction. Now, if they lose in the first round, there'll be those that say, you see, they got exposed. But
I think when you look at the schedule, I think really if you want to go down that road, first of all, like you said, but second of all, look at the 3 toughest games. They beat Buffalo in Buffalo.
Yep.
They had a big collapse and an historic effort by Josh Allen, collapse of their defense to lose the game in Foxborough. And they beat the Ravens, who were playing pretty well down the stretch.
lost to the Steelers.
See, those first 3 weeks, I don't know. This is a new team. They had to get it together.
Yeah,
it's like I can't really go like, okay, that's going to be an indicator of the future. I personally think they'd beat the Steelers right now. But I think, they played very competitive in those 3 games and won 2 of them.
And when they beat the Tampa Bay Bucks, Tampa Bay was like 7-2 2 or something like. I
Yeah.
mean, they were doing
yeah.
great.
Well, they beat the entire NFC South,
yeah,
Yeah.
And
which
they-
is pretty cool.
they
But
were-
I got to tell you, when you go down that list, it's unbelievable. It's just.
But I think we talked about it last night while we were hanging out watching the game. The NFL sort of set up that way.
Yeah, they are.
You go 4-13 2 years in a row. You get to play the other teams that are 4-13.
And again, they won the games. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
what
beat
do
these
people
teams.
want them to do? And, look, those people that are saying this, they're going to have their day next year. Patriots are playing a first-place schedule.
Yeah.
They're playing the NFC North, not the South. They're getting the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings, the Bears. They're playing the Jacksonville division, the South. They're playing Denver.
And the Chiefs.
And the Steelers. And their wild card, they're what I call the Ken Berman 17th week game because
Oh.
I know how much you love it. The Seahawks. They play the NFC West champion, which was decided Saturday night. They play the Seahawks in Seattle. So for people, you'll have your day.
Yep. They'll have a tough schedule
But,
next year.
they did what they had to do, and I'm really looking forward to next week. Really looking forward to next week.
You want to get into the playoffs a little bit?
Sure, let's get into it.
Let's go.
All right. Well, Jim, why don't we get started with this weekend's matchup with San Diego. I still think they should be called the Los Angeles
you
San
did say
Diego
that.
Chargers.
I just think they should be called the San Diego
All right, well, I'll
Chargers.
get started. Defensively, these teams are fairly even if you look at the statistics. But I think the Patriots have the significant edge on offense. Significant edge. The Chargers have struggled with their offensive line. They've struggled to protect the quarterback. It's a good thing for them to be bad at because the Patriots' pass rush has been suspect at times.
Yeah.
Which suggests that they might have an advantage getting to the quarterback. I like the fact that it's an LA team playing at night in January in Foxborough.
Yeah.
The weather may be very cold. How much of that is a real advantage? I don't know historically, but I think it is. The teams that I remember coming in here in cold weather and winning playoff games have been the Ravens and the Jets, who are cold weather teams.
Yep.
So I like the Patriots. The early money in the betting public is on the Patriots right now.
Yep.
3.5-point favorites. Independent of the fact that I love them and root for them, I think they got to be the favorite to win the game.
Yeah, I do too. I totally agree with that. I think they're a little better of a team than the Chargers right now. And Herbert's playing with a broken hand as well. I mean, he's a great player, but I'd actually take Drake May over him anyway right now. So even if Herbert was 100%, so I like this matchup for the Patriots. I do like that a West Coast team is coming in, Jim, and playing at night when it's going to be 20 degrees.
Well, Justin Herbert is a great quarterback, despite the fact he's never won a playoff game. But he's a great quarterback. He's also very tough. He broke his hand, and he played the next week. And the only reason he didn't play,
do that?
the only reason he didn't play Sunday was they had no chance to win the division because they had lost to Houston in L.A. the week before. Justin Herbert's biggest problem is the absence of Slater, an all-pro offensive lineman, and Joe Alt, another high-quality lineman.
Yeah.
Their offensive line has deteriorated. It's the 31st in the league. Some would argue it's 32nd, no matter what the stats say. He takes a beating. He's getting hit on a lot of plays. I think if I had to say the key to the game, it's can the Patriots take advantage of that? They are not a good pass rush team. We saw what Houston did to Herbert in Week 17, Game 16. They were able to effectively rush him and overwhelm that offensive line, which is not good. It is worse than what the Patriots had in Drake May's first season. It is worse.
Yeah.
I think because of that, the Patriots are going to win the game.
Yeah, the Patriots still have a few guys out on defense that they're not sure, Paul, if they're coming back yet. I heard today, listening in the car, that there's no.
Well, they don't
definitive-
know about Spillane, and they don't know
Right.
about who got hurt this week. Chastain.
Jason.
And the other
Chasen,
guy, and
Chasen.
Tonga.
And they're not sure about him. So,
Yeah, those are important guys for them.
Yep.
yeah.
All right. One thing about the Patriots before we go, I think that They got a great turnaround resurgence from Ramondre Stevenson this year, the last 4 games.
Yep.
And he's really looked like his old self
Yeah.
since he came back from injury. And then, put him together with Trayvon Henderson.
Right. That's a great point.
That's a really good running attack, I believe.
Yeah, and the old cliches you need to run in the cold weather. Stevenson seems to be, the new cliche, running downhill, which is good. He's holding on to the ball, which was his problem earlier in the year. You said he's running like his old self. I'd argue he's running better than his old self.
Yeah.
He's not coughing up the ball. He's finding the end zone. The Patriots' yardage per attempt on running has been outstanding, over 4 almost all year. Not a dominant running game because they really haven't had to do it with Drake May. So, yeah, it's a good point about him.
Yeah, and can they, on the other side of the ball, Khalil Mack is still very good pass rusher. It's still a very good pass rusher.
Yep.
So can the Patriots keep him away from Drake May?
Yep. Well, Campbell's back.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's back.
I didn't hear his name yesterday, which is usually a good sign.
Yeah, yeah.
And Milt Williams is back, too, so that helps.
Yep.
So,
He had a couple big plays.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, are we continuing into this wild card
Yeah,
weekend?
let's go. So the first game on Saturday is the L.A. Rams at Carolina. Now, why is the obviously superior L.A. Rams at Carolina? It's because they're on the road as a wild card team against the below 500 division champion Carolina Panthers. By the way, I think people make a big deal about that. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because you only play 6 games in your division, so it's hard to rack up a lot of wins. The teams were pretty evenly matched between the Falcons, the Saints, and the Panthers. So I think that was a little bit of a big deal out of nothing. But the Rams are better offensively. They're better defensively. I would argue Carolina is the weakest team in the postseason. They rank in the lower half, both offensive and defensively, if you look at the stats. You've got a veteran in Stafford versus a young quarterback in Young. The vast majority of the money going into this game early on is going in favor of taking the points, which is right now 10.5.
10.5.
We'll see if that
Wow.
changes, because it's hard to imagine that they'll win by more than 10. But
I think they will.
you do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's a game. I'm going to go with Carolina to cover the spread and the Rams to win the game.
I think the Rams win something like 31-17 or something like that. I think they win easily. They're a much better team. First of all, Stafford's the MVP. We can all agree to that, can't we? There's nobody else in the running
I don't know.
of the MVP. It's what I'm told. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award now or something because he's 37 years old or something like that.
I
But
wouldn't minimize what he's done this year.
no, he's great. He's absolutely.
I
That's what I'm
prefer-
saying. He's gonna eat up the Panthers. That game, easy. I don't bet, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
to
I'm
me.
not. I don't bet. I don't know the spread. I got one word for this game: lock. Move on. Rams.
It's a luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
The big Saturday night game is the oldest rivalry in the NFL. Well, I think it's the oldest rivalry.
Is it?
Can I address that? They're claiming it is.
Well, first of all, say who it is.
It's Green Bay and Chicago.
Okay, Green Bay and Chicago.
Go ahead, Jim.
I need to double check this because when the NFL had their 100th anniversary, they led off with Bears Packers and said it was the 100th oldest rivalry. I believe one of those teams was not in the NFL the first year. I will double check this. And the Chicago Cardinals were.
Correct. The Chicago Cardinals are the oldest.
This would
franchise,
make,
I believe.
if they played the team of Green Bay and them that were in it, that would make that the oldest rivalry. Now, it's not as attractive or sexy as Chicago Green Bay, but go on.
No problem with that
Yeah.
minor diversion. These teams are fairly equal, offensively and defensively. Chicago right now is a 1.5-point favorite, which suggests, given that you usually have 3 or 4 points for being at home, that most people think Green Bay has the edge. I have to say, I was not a big fan of Caleb Williams when he came into the league.
Right.
But he's really emerged as he's the best quarterback the Bears have had in a while. There's no team in the NFL that has a crap bag list of quarterbacks in the last 40 years like the Chicago Bears.
Not
It's
even the Jets?
No, worse. It's almost beyond belief what they've had to deal with.
Yeah.
He seems to be, if not the real deal, a pretty good deal. I'm going to go with Chicago because I think the Packers have been one of these teams that's been on again, off again. And I think in that cold weather, at home, with the crowd behind them, I like Chicago to beat the Green Bay Packers.
I'm with you on that. I think the Bears are a little bit better anyway, so I'm picking the Bears.
This is a rematch of one of the bright light games of the NFL's Week 17, I believe, which was probably their best week of the season. It was awesome.
Yep.
And this is the game where Dobbs couldn't handle the onside kick. Williams threw that unbelievable pass and catch to win the game. Miracle comeback. First of all, I think the cold weather doesn't matter. This is Green Bay. They're playing on the road.
Yeah, it
Big
doesn't get any
deal.
colder than Green
Big
Bay,
deal.
does it? Yeah.
I don't think home field matters. I think it's going to come down to the end again.
We know
I
your
think
feeling on that.
I don't think either team is that great, even though the Bears have a better record. I will go with the Bears for one reason, Caleb Williams. I think he's playing better than Jordan Love,
Yeah.
and I think he will eventually pull out the game.
The only reason I would, if I said think the Packers have an advantage is because they're on the road, Jim. They have road field
Yeah.
advantage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll buy that.
So
But
the
no,
last 5
I'll
years,
go with the Bears.
the last
Yeah,
5
yes.
years, there've been 30 wild card round games, and the home team has won 21, lost 9. So losers do happen.
Yep.
An average of about 1.5 losses per season. Okay, so now we move on to Sunday. All right, we've already talked about the Patriots, which is the night game.
Right.
By the way, I was so glad that they're the night game. Were you glad? I forget.
No.
No, he's not glad.
I thought you were going to be going to something Saturday night and then Sunday afternoon.
And Sunday morning and Sunday night.
Sunday morning and Sunday night.
Not Saturday night.
And Saturday
And
night.
Saturday night.
I wanted the Bill Parcells game, 1:00 Sunday.
Oh,
Or
or Monday night.
My second choice was 4:30 Saturday or 4:30 Sunday, and my third choice was Monday night.
You didn't get any of them.
Actually, it was my second, third, and fourth choice. So I got my worst choice.
I got my number one choice.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay. But anyway, the
All
game.
right. All right. Buffalo at Jacksonville. This may be the toughest game. I've given Buffalo the edge on offense and the Jaguars the edge on defense. The Bills come into the game highly motivated. If I'm a Bills fan, I'm thinking, okay, I know we're on the road. I know we're a wild card team. I know we didn't get the bye, but this is the year we gotta win it. There's no Patrick Mahomes in the way. There's no Lamar Jackson in the way.
Nope.
Aaron Rodgers is probably not realistically in the way. I just feel that Buffalo has got to go into that game with desperation. And I think even though they're only a slight favorite in Jacksonville, I think they win the game by 7.
Yeah, I think the Bills are going to win this game and beat the Jaguars too. I know Trevor Lawrence,
Yes.
because there's so many quarterbacks. I can't remember
It's
them all.
32, I believe,
Yeah,
plus backups.
but Trevor Lawrence has had a great year. Finally, the way I look at it, I think he's underachieved up until now, and this is really his first, really breakout year. I think maybe he's had other good statistical years. I just don't ever remember the Jaguars really being, a great team. So even though he's having a great year, I still think Allen's better. I think the Bills are better than the Jaguars, and I'm a little bit with you there, Paul. They don't pull it out this year without Mahomes in their way. Wow, I don't know where they go from
Yeah,
here.
no, I agree.
Okay. This is, to me, one of the two best games of the weekend.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Okay, this is, and you said this is the 1:00 game? Good.
This is the early game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Because here's why. First of all, you got Buffalo for all the reasons you said. Josh Allen is probably the best player in the playoffs. However, Trevor Lawrence is playing as well as Josh Allen. The Jaguars are on fire. They are
Hot.
they went into Denver and handled them fairly easily by 14 points. Okay, now Denver's 14-3. I kid around about home field, but they usually win at home for a lot of reasons. Mile High and all that. They handled them no problem. They gave up the opening touchdown yesterday in a game they needed to win the division, and then just blew Tennessee out of the building. Okay, this team is red hot.
They are.
And you're right about Trevor Lawrence, except for one thing. People forget.
What's that?
The reason Justin Herbert has not won a playoff game, he played a playoff game against Jacksonville where the Chargers, I believe, went up 4 scores, and Trevor Lawrence led the comeback to win that game.
Forgot all about that.
Okay, I am a big believer in Buffalo, but for the sake of a little divergence, I'm going to pick Jacksonville in this game. I think it's their time, and I think this is not Josh Allen's best team, and it's a timing thing. He had better teams when he had to face Mahomes and took Mahomes down to the wire and, by the flip of a coin, lost a game. One of the greatest games ever.
I want to throw a question in here for you because we're talking about the Bills. I've heard a lot of rumors that if they don't make the Super Bowl this year, they might want to can Sean McDermott for the Bills. Do you think if he loses this Sunday that they're going to fire Sean McDermott?
I don't. Me personally, I think he's had enough success and enough reason to state his case, whether he was given a bad roster or they traded away too many good wide receivers or whatever it is. Unless there's a star on the horizon, I don't see it.
Yeah, I would say no, although I think it'll be all over the media that it's possible. But at the end of the day, they won't.
Well, there's other examples of this. You think back to Peyton Manning, who did not get to a Super Bowl all those years.
Yeah.
From 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4. Didn't get to a Super Bowl. And people were saying, he's the best quarterback in the league. Brady's a system quarterback. Manning's clearly superior. Manning gets MVP. Manning gets All-Pro. When's he going to get to a Super Bowl? This is not unusual.
Yeah.
It happens.
I'll add to that. In 2014, John Fox was fired by the Broncos, and a year later, under Gary Kubiak, they won the Super Bowl. They won Super Bowl 50 over the Panthers.
I think
that can happen.
I think he does get fired if they lose this game to Jacksonville. I think he's out.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
That's my opinion.
I want to say one more thing about the Bills.
good question.
Yeah, very good question. I think one thing about the Bills is that the Patriots cannot play the Bills until the championship game. Even though the NFL reseeds, which I think is a good thing, acknowledging that in hockey and basketball, because series end at different times, it would be very difficult. But since the NFL ends on a Monday night this week, it's easy to reseed, right? And I think it's a good idea. If the Patriots were to win, they will knock out the 7th seed, which is the Chargers, right? So the Bills would be the lowest seed, even if they won, which means they could not play the Patriots in round 2. They would automatically play Denver.
Doesn't hockey reseed?
No.
They did for a while, didn't they?
Not
the
any-
NHL?
They don't anymore.
They don't anymore?
No. I don't think they
No
do.
reseed.
I don't think they do.
No reseeding.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't
All right,
think
let's
so.
move
All right.
on.
All right, next game.
The 49ers go to Philadelphia. A very, very big-time NFC matchup. These are two teams that have been in the hunt for years. 49ers have made multiple deep runs, Super Bowl appearances, as have the Eagles. Very interesting matchup. Both teams have had odd, successful years, in my opinion. San Francisco has overcome tons of injuries. They had their quarterback go down. They had Mac Jones in there, for goodness sakes. They are a decent team offensively, struggle a little bit on defense. Eagles are a little bit more balanced, but I'm telling you, I know Eagles fans. I happen to have several friends that are Eagles fans, and they've been frustrated with these guys. They've been kind of up and down. They have not looked like a juggernaut, a team that's going to defend their title. The early betting has favored San Francisco because they're getting 3.5. But I'm going to go with the Eagles for the simple reason that I think that San Francisco has been kind of a Cinderella team, overcoming a lot of injuries, winning games in a lot of different ways. I think, Jim and I disagree about home field. I think that being in Philadelphia, being on the road, late in the day, I think San Francisco is going to struggle to win that game, and I like Philadelphia.
Yeah. No, I'm going with the 49ers in this game. I think San Francisco is going to win this game. I think the Eagles have been so inconsistent. I'm not a big believer. I know they won the Super Bowl. I'm not a big believer in Jalen Hurts there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do it for me. Brock Purdy seems to make big plays, seems to be a playmaker. I'm going with 49ers.
Let's set the backdrop for this game. Interesting decision by the Eagles coach to not play the regulars Sunday. The Bears ended up losing, which meant he could have gone up to the 2 seed and avoided this game because the 49ers are very good, as we know, right? So he could have played the Packers, which I don't think are as good as the 49ers. So this sets up, I would say, along with the Buffalo game, the best game of the weekend, as you were saying. This is a big-time wild card matchup. 49ers, Shanahan deserves all credit in the world for getting through these injuries. The thing that scares me about them is 3 points against the Seahawks. I don't know if they can score enough. I mean, Ricky Pearsall has been hurt all year. Brock Purdy is great, but the Eagles are pretty good on defense. Still got a good pass rush. I don't love the Eagles like I did last year. I know a great Eagle fan too. And I'm going to go with the Eagles because I don't think San Francisco can score enough to beat them.
So it's me against
But I'll tell
the
you,
world.
no, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's going to be one of the 2 best games of the weekend.
Yeah, the only game that would surprise me if it went against the chalk would be the Carolina
Oh,
game.
Yeah.
All right, so the last game, guys, is the Monday night game. The Houston Texans at the Steelers. Now, I got to talk about that Steelers game last night. Did you guys
Wow.
stay up to watch it?
I did.
I saw the end. I fell asleep for a while, woke up and saw the ending.
No,
Okay, that was insane. And it was interesting that 2 relatively young kickers, at the end of the game, experienced, good kickers, but they're, neither one of them could make a field goal. Is it my imagination, Jim? I know because of your buddies, you've watched a lot of Steelers games over the years.
Yeah.
That place is a house of horrors for field goal kickers.
It's not a good stadium to kick in, which made Croswell's 56-yarder in that game all the more impressive. He's a very good kicker. He hasn't missed an extra point in like 3 years.
Yeah.
And then he misses the extra point to give him a 3-point lead, which allows Jacksonville to kick a field goal for the
Not
win.
Jacksonville.
What did I say?
Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore. I'm
Or
sorry.
Baltimore. as,
Yeah,
Chris
Baltimore.
Russo says.
God, my mistake.
Baltimore.
Allows them to try a field goal from 44 yards for the win, and the rookie kicker missed it. And nice video of Harbaugh with his arm around him going into the locker room. I think that's really important for a coach, even on that level.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So Houston's been on a roll.
Yeah.
They have, according to some measures, the best defense in the league. According to my measure, these 2 eyes, they have the best defense in the league.
That's what it looks
Every
like.
time I watch them, quarterbacks are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to avoid getting sacked.
Yep.
The pass rush is tremendous. The Steelers barely hung on at home against the Ravens.
Right.
They've been shaky all year. Mike Tomlin's record in the postseason in recent years is terrible. The early betting is with Houston, which surprisingly is not surprisingly, I guess, a road favorite at 3.5. I'm going to go with the Texans. I think they cover the spread and win the game.
Me too. And I think the Texans defense is just going to make Rodgers crazier and make him crazy. He just doesn't look that good to me anymore. I know he had a couple of big plays last night, but whenever I've watched him this year, my eye test is he's just not that great anymore. Texans defense is great.
Well, yeah, before we go to Jim on Rodgers just for a second, he does what a lot of older veteran athletes do, which is show you flashes. Like, you'll say, there's the Aaron Rodgers, that throw he made at the end of the game, which was like,
flashback games.
Yeah, in a tiny little window. Seeing the guy in the corner wide open, knowing what to do. But it's not consistent enough. I agree with you.
And there was a play last night that just showed that he's older, where he couldn't get around the end to get the first down when he was running, and he stopped and got caught. I mean, he easily would have won that race years ago.
No, he's got that bad Achilles history.
Yeah, but I'm picking Houston.
Yeah,
on this.
let's take us through a couple of things with this. First, last night, Aaron Rodgers in the fourth quarter had a flashback quarter.
Yeah.
In basketball, they call it a flashback game. Tim Duncan at the end of his career has a big game, things like that. He had a flashback quarter. He was fantastic. He was absolutely fantastic. He took the lead. The Ravens got it back, and then he marches them down the field again, and he probably scores too soon because his kicker misses the extra point. he had a flashback quarter. Number 2 in that game, it's a defensive classic. The announcers, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, all the violent hits and all this, and it's a dogfight and all the cliches. And then in the fourth quarter, the NFL reverts to its form where no defense can stop anybody in the fourth quarter, right?
Right.
Even the supposed hard-hitting, which was, frankly, super exciting to watch both teams because I didn't have I was hoping Pittsburgh won, but I didn't have a super rooting
I was
interest.
hoping the
Having said that,
Ravens won.
the defensive lapses in the fourth quarter were maybe
Unbelievable.
as many as I've ever seen, even in all these comebacks that the NFL is famous for. Yeah. Receivers were, Collinsworth was right. Have you ever seen a receiver as open as that second to the last touchdown?
What's his name? Flowers?
Yeah. It was incredible. No one was near him. The same thing when the Ravens guy slipped and Rodgers threw for the touchdown. The same thing on the last Baltimore touchdown where the guy inexplicably gets 3 to 5 steps on his defender. It was unbelievable, but it was super exciting.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it made it fun.
Now, a couple of factors in this game, okay? Steelers got Watt back. That makes a difference last night.
Yep.
He is a great defensive lineman.
Yep.
The Steelers get Metcalf back. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That is a very big deal. Him missing the last 2 games has been huge for the Steelers. Collinswood said it when they were going for a touchdown near the end. He goes, Metcalf was in the game. They just throw this ball up in the air because he's big and he can jump. Having said that, I love Houston in this game. Even with Metcalf, even with Watt. I'm going to go even farther than that. Houston is going to beat Denver.
Ooh.
But we can do that next week.
From your mouth to
Yeah.
God's ear.
Yeah, really.
Houston is going to go into Pittsburgh, which, by the way, the Patriots won 2 AFC championships in Pittsburgh. Although their fans are, I think, the best in the league, they travel better than anyone else. They're the team that in the old days, the Colts wouldn't take a reservation from a Pittsburgh area code for a game because they were afraid too many would show up. I don't think the home field is that big for them in the past, and I think Houston's going to win. And I think after watching Jacksonville play Denver, I think we can get into this next week if we do a show, but I think Houston's going to go to Denver and beat them.
Oh,
I just want to say one more thing about Sunday Night Football.
go one. Yeah, Paul. One more thing.
I'm
about
sure he's a
Sunday
good.
Night
I'm
Football.
sure he's a good guy. I'm sure he pays his taxes. I'm jealous of the magnificent. I'm envious, not jealous, of the magnificent career he's had and all the money he's earned. But Mike Tirico has no business announcing play-by-play on an NFL game.
He was just.
All he does is scream hysterically. He doesn't let the moment carry the excitement.
Right.
I kept texting you guys, and I'm sorry. I do my Pat Summerall alternative touch. At one point near the end of the game, there was a touchdown. I think it was the one Rodgers threw to the wide open guy in the corner, where what Tirico said was indecipherable screaming. When all he needed to do was say, touchdown Steelers, and let the moment live through the viewer experience. He doesn't have to scream all the time. And pairing him with a guy who laughs while he talks, because I think Collinsworth has very good content.
Yep.
I don't have a problem with his content.
Nope.
But Tirico, I don't know. I don't see
My
it.
only comment, he has to stop yelling at me. It's a Sunday night. I want to rest. I need some rest.
Well, you've been waiting all day
It's a
for
long
Sunday
week.
night.
You've been waiting.
I'm old.
Carrie Underwood said it.
He's got to stop yelling at me. And I like Collinsworth as well. I do not. I've told you guys, I don't watch Sunday Night Football till the last week or two. I think he's been excellent. I really like him. But Tirico's yelling is just...
I'm a loyal viewer of Sunday Night Football because there's really nothing else on, and
You
I'm
wait all
usually
day.
tired. And
Yeah.
there've been some good games, but Tirico, when I hear that voice, I don't think of football.
And as an NBA fan, I'm dreading it.
I know, right? Because he's got the best. He's going to have.
We're going to go from Mike Breen to him.
Oh. Ouch.
Sure, he pays his taxes, but
I'm sure
anyway,
he does.
we don't have that much time. So
Okay.
Oh, all right.
I know you want to
Wow.
do this some Celtics.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just a few minutes for a couple other topics. First of all,
Go.
the Patriots story is a remarkable story. 14-3, what a great season. No one expected it. We've said that a number of times. But did any of us expect the Boston Celtics to be 22-12 at this point, be on an 18-6 run since a 4-6 opening? They just went 4-1 on their West Coast trip. They demolished the Clippers, who were one of the hottest teams in the league going into that game. And Brown threw up 50, or as Scal says, 50. I don't know. I just think it's another remarkable Boston sports story right now.
In some respects, I think the Celtics season is more remarkable than the Patriots.
Okay.
Here's why. Because the Celtics are doing more with less. The Patriots are doing more with more. The Patriots effectively drafted and rebuilt their team for this year. The Celtics gutted their roster and are winning. They're only a couple of games behind the pace that they had last year when they had Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, Luke Cornett, Al Horford,
Kristaps
Porzingis, although he never played. It's just I can't say enough about the Celtics season. I'm really impressed with the coaching. I've been hard on Mazzulla over the years, but I can't in good conscience. I can nitpick things during games.
Right,
but
but-
what he's been doing to figure out how to win with these guys. 2 years ago, most of these guys weren't high draft picks. Jordan Walsh is not a top 5 pick.
He's not a first-round pick.
Yeah, he's a second-round pick.
Gonzalez was picked at the end of the first round on a flyer from Europe. Jordan Walsh picked in the second round. They picked up guys, I don't want to say in the scrap heap. That wouldn't be fair, and they're winning. And I think part of it is, we've talked about this, they play with playoff intensity in December and January.
Yeah.
They violate the NBA code. But, hey, good for them.
I don't think Gaza was a high pick either, was he, Jim?
I think he was first round.
First round?
Yeah.
For
I can't. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think a lot of things with the Celtics. Number one, it starts to me with Brad Stevens. He clearly
Yes.
wanted a type of player on this team, knowing that they wouldn't have the overwhelming talent they had last year from all these guys who he knew would play hard, including, Josh Minot, who doesn't play anymore, and
Right.
Luka Gaza, who didn't play for like a month.
And now he's in the rotation.
The second thing I said at the beginning of the year, with a team like this, you're going to have your top 4, which is Pritchard, White, Brown, and really top 3, but then it turned out to be Cada. Everybody else, every fan is going to have their favorites. And Joe is going to decide who plays. But everybody, and at times, the guy on the bench is going to be better in the fans' eyes than the guy that's playing. This is a very difficult team to coach, because if some of these guys were doing it every night, they'd be superstars the way they play. They don't. So he's got to figure out on a nightly basis who is going to give it to him that night, knowing that fans will disagree. He doesn't care. So I think he's done an absolutely remarkable job of figuring that out on a night-to-night basis. He started Josh Minot. They did well. He started Ugo against Cade Cunningham. They did well. He then went to Jordan Walsh, who did fantastic. He then went to Sam Hauser in a game. They won. He benched Gaza for a month, put him in a game where they needed a big, played his butt off, and now he plays every night. And they have a heck of a center rotation
Right now they're
so I
better
think
off
it
than
goes
they
from
were with
Stevens
KP.
to Joe, and then the third component to me is Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown is, to me, first team NBA, right? If it was picked right now, definite. And to me, to use the NBA term, NFL, you stole it, which you also stole the MVP chant. Don't like that either.
And they stole Christmas.
Yeah,
stole
that's the worst.
The Grinch. The NFL
Jaylen
Grinch.
Brown, to me, is in the MVP conversation. Jokic, to me, was the clear MVP. You don't get better than that guy, okay? He may not play enough games. Unfortunately, he's hurt, okay?
SGA.
Brown has surpassed Cunningham.
Yeah.
I think Brown has surpassed Doncic, because Doncic, he's a better defender now that he's lost 30 pounds, but he's not a superior defender.
No.
Brown is a superior defender.
Yeah.
Okay, Doncic is a little better on offense. Brown has been so aggressive. I still get a laugh in today's Globe, they're reviewing things and then they're going, the Celtics, their game is shooting a lot of threes. And then, wait a minute. It's 2025-26. They don't shoot as many threes. Have people watched Jaylen Brown? Takes far more twos than threes. Peyton Pritchard lives in the paint. Sure, they take a lot, but everybody takes a lot. They're not
just above
taking
league
60.
average.
They're not taking 60
No,
anymore.
they're in the league. They're
All
like
right?
an average team now.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown the other night. That game, now it's 2026. That's the game of the year. Now, we've only had 5 days. I'm going to venture that that's going to be the game of the year by an individual for the whole season in every sport we watch.
It might be
He was
phenomenal.
He shot 69%, getting 50 points.
Yeah.
On the plane from Sacramento to L.A., he texted Joe Mazzulla, I'd like to guard Kawhi Leonard. Now, people who don't follow the NBA, Kawhi Leonard was on a heater.
Oh, yeah.
5 straight games. He had 55 and 1. He is the best two-way player in the league when he plays, when he's healthy. Okay? Jaylen Brown wanted to guard him.
Yeah.
Nothing against Kawhi Leonard because I know he's been hurt. He didn't guard Jaylen Brown. Now, I don't blame him, and I didn't think the Celtics were going to have Brown because I thought he'd get in foul trouble.
Right.
But Joe, I think, did a good move. He gave it to him. He wanted him. And as someone wrote, I won't take credit, it was if the baton of best two-way player passed that night from Kawhi to Jaylen Brown.
And didn't Jaylen Brown say I'm the best two-way
He
player
did.
in the NBA right now?
I think the only serious competition, well, they're all serious.
Yeah.
But the biggest competition for him for MVP, if people would get over there, whatever, is SJ. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Unlike Doncic, he plays defense. Right. He's on the best team. He's a great defender. He's a great fourth quarter player. I would still give him the edge. But if I were voting, Brown would be my second choice, and I never would have said that.
Yeah, Paul. I mean,
No, there's. I'm sure Jaylen Brown would prefer to be on a team that's got a good shot at winning the championship, but this has really helped his individual brand.
oh,
Yeah.
A lot of guys might have demanded a trade or sulked. I mean, he said, "Okay, here's my shot," and he has exceeded what I think anybody would have reasonably hoped for. He's been good with the media about it. He's been interesting. He's supported his teammates. Been a great teammate.
He has.
He's been a really, really great
Yep.
player
Yep.
and a great teammate. And wow,
It's
I
a-
agree with everything Jim said. The only thing I would add is on the three-point shooting, just to give you a stat, I think they're down 5 this year. So I think they were averaging 48 a game last year. They're averaging 43 a game this year. That's not insignificant.
No, it's
No.
not. And 43 in this NBA?
pretty close to league average, I bet.
I would guess it's slightly above average.
Yeah, but
it's not like it was last year. I mean, 70
No.
attempts and
No.
yeah,
65
right,
attempts.
Right. But anyway, incredible story. But not only Patriots, but the Celtics and Jaylen Brown. And who knows? They might get Tatum back. You never know.
You never know.
and if they do,
what happens.
that's a big question
Yeah.
because
I agree.
because Jaylen Brown is playing, and I'm not into the Jaylen Brown, all the others, the superfluous stuff. What I'm interested in is on the court. Jaylen Brown played a lot of the wing when Jason Tatum was walking. Jaylen Brown's playing a lot from the top of the key.
Yeah.
now.
Oh, he's taken
So-
over the role.
So Joe Mazzulla loves challenges. He's going to have another one if Jason Tatum comes back.
Yep.
It's a basketball one. I don't think it'll be a personal thing.
I agree. All right, time's flying by. We talked about the Pats.
Getting close.
I'm a little disappointed in the Red Sox. It doesn't seem like anything's happening to me, Paul.
Well, I think they're one of the only teams that has not signed a free agent.
Right,
Correct.
That's right. They've made trades, but they haven't signed a free agent.
Look, the Red Sox, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Hopefully we do this show many more years. I'll keep saying it. They are what they are. They have declared themselves as a team that wants to make money, that wants to do it through player development, drafting, acquisition, using their assets to develop players and trade them and fill spots that way. I think eventually they'll take a flyer on certain players. But I think the way they may be looking at it, and I have to say, I don't think it's a terrible strategy, is to say, look, if we get a Roman Anthony and we can lock him up and we know he likes Fenway, we're going to do it. But we're not going to go out there. I mean, I'm sure if they were here and they were defending themselves, they'd say, Do you think we should have signed Juan Soto? Do you think that was a bad move that we didn't sign him? $700 million, did not have a really spectacular season. There's plenty of examples of signing other free agents from outside your organization. When I say other, I mean from outside your organization that don't produce and tie up all your salary. My beef with them is letting guys go. The Mookie Bettses. That's the John Lesters. Those are the ones that irritate, is when you have a guy that you know can play in Boston, that fits into your lineup, that is successful, and you get outbid for him, that's where I get upset.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you say they locked Roman Anthony up, I think the big question is, do they do it again? Because he probably, if things go well, he's probably going to, he could end up as one of the top paid players in baseball.
Yeah.
Will the Red Sox make that investment? I don't know.
But that's 7 years down the road.
It is, yeah. No, it is. But still, that's where Betts was. He was about to be one of the top paid players in baseball,
Yep.
and they wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't do it.
And then they lost Mookie Betts. So I think, Ken, they're at the margins. Instead of signing Alonso, they trade for Contreras. Their argument would be, there's not that much difference. And for $20 million a year, we don't want to pay for that difference. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, there is a difference.
I'll tell you where I would draw the line. I'd tell Alex Bregman to take a walk.
Would you?
Yes, he doesn't play. You can't count him for 145, 150 games. And I don't like the fact that they offered him a lot of money and he bailed out after 1 year. No, thank you. I understand it's a business, but
Because
Good
I
luck.
want him to sign him and Bichette. I want both of them.
well, they're not going to do
They're
that.
not going to do that.
I know, but that's what I want.
Well, you know,
Well, Meyer can play one of those positions. It's just, is he healthy?
That's two nice, good from the right side bats that they could really use. But I know it's not going to happen, but that's what I want.
yeah. Well, you don't get what you want.
And like I said when I started out, I'm just sort of disappointed they haven't really done anything. They made some trades, but can sign somebody, can't you? There's got to be somebody. I don't know.
Okay, I think we're at an hour.
Yeah, okay. My last comment on the Bruins is very average. Don't know what. They win 5, they lose 5. They win 6, they lose 6.
Nothing to add there.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, any last things before we go?
No, Happy New Year.
I do.
Go ahead. Jim
I
has
have a
one
last thing.
Paul.
I'd
we
like to
go.
compliment 2 fan bases
Okay.
locally. The first is the Boston Celtics. In addition to that Jaylen Brown tremendous performance, the Boston Celtics basically did that night to a very hot team what every team would love to do, which is they cleared their building out.
Right.
They said, we are blowing you out. You people can go. I think Jaylen Brown even waved.
He did.
I
He
didn't
waved
see
to
it,
the
but
crowd.
Scal said, okay. So they blew the building out. By the time Missoula took out JB when he got 50, let's go. Celtics chants, MVP chants. It was awesome. The other is my Providence College fan base
There you go.
in Madison Square Garden against Rick Pitino's St. John's team, which is supposed to be very good this year. They went down 13-0, won the game, and after the game, I think, Paul, you sent it to me, Rick Pitino said he was disappointed that 50% of the fan base was for Providence. So I want to compliment them
Yeah,
because
for
over the TV, it was loud when
Yeah.
PC made that comeback. It just took me back to the 60s when they were really popular in New York.
Patina whining again. I really didn't care for that comment. Just deal with it. You chose to go to St. John's. Doesn't have a huge traditional fan base.
If he doesn't like PC coming in,
Yeah.
what's going to happen when UConn plays there
Come
this
on.
year?
Right?
Really?
I know. And
But no, seriously, great compliment to the PC fan base.
And I know
They were loud.
Yep.
And I know, Jim, you're a Patino guy still because he brought PC to a Final Four.
I'm
and
not
all.
a big Patino guy. I'm just. I've
He
always
can't
said-
lose enough for me. I'm just going to
No,
say no.
Ken, I don't care if he wins
He
or loses.
can't lose enough. The snake oil
Ken,
salesman.
just for the record, I don't care if he wins or loses. I'm just saying, if somebody's going to give me a Final Four in 2 years and then he decides to go, we're not Duke, we're not Syracuse. I'll take it. I don't want him to go, but it's okay.
Yeah, but I am Boston Celtics. And
Oh, no, I don't like what he did there,
never
Ken.
forgive him.
All right,
All right, that's it. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you next time on Boston Sports Nuts.
we're not Florida State, Ken. We're not UConn. Your team.
Thank you for watching Boston Sports Nuts. You can find all of our episodes available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. For more information, go to westwoodmediacenter.tv or follow Boston Sports Nuts on Facebook, Instagram, and X.